Hey everyone, it's Hfmasters here. Today we're back with another LAKEY Ninjago Season 13 review. This time it is on 71720, the Firestone Mech. This set comes with 968 pieces and will retail for $70 in the US. Comes with 5 minifigures, and then front of the box you can see the mech. Back of the box you can see all the functions of the set. So the Firestone Mech is already pretty interesting because obviously it is half fire and half stone. It has a very different aesthetic just because of that compared to, your typical LEGO mech. Most things are symmetrical. This one is very clearly trying not to be, and I think it works out pretty well for the most part. However, let's take a closer look at this. So obviously my least favorite part about this set, and probably most people's least favorite part about this set, is these legs. These legs really aren't too great as far as the actual build. I think it looks pretty good. This side is a lot more regal, more samurai-esque. They have this brand new piece on the bottom here. You'll see it again throughout this set. I think that looks really good. And then you compare that to this stone side, which is more rugged. They have these different types of pieces around. They have these literal rock pieces kind of scattered throughout, and then they have a sticker up here just to give it that different aesthetic. However, that itself, build, I think that looks fine. No problem there. Of course, the problem is the actual shaping they've gone with. See, they have these sort of pre-bent knees because obviously there's no actual knees in this mech, and that's okay, but it also kind of makes it look like it's in this eternal squat. So it looks a bit odd, and it does make it feel a lot smaller compared to mechs we have gotten in recent years for Ninjago, although it really isn't small. You can see just compared to a minifigure, it's fine in terms of height. It just feels smaller compared to, say, Lloyd's Titan mech or the Fire mech or, the Quake mech. It feels smaller than what we've been getting. But that aside, let's talk about articulation. So you got front and back, that's fine, except for, you kind of need the foot to move, and they have made it so the foot is basically incapable of moving. This is it. That's as far as you can get, and you're kind of pushing it doing that. You're not moving it back for stability purposes, but you do get a little bit of side to side, which is nice, but it kind of really restricts you in terms of getting poses here. So you can try to finesse something like this. Maybe if I try to push this there, it's not really working. So I got, something like that. It's trying to almost convey a walking pose, but it's not working. No, the legs on this are very restrictive. You're limited to basically one pose. You also can splay them out to the side, but you really can't do much with this in terms of posing. I got this thing going, but that's really it. The legs they're fine in terms of look, but they really aren't great in terms of function. The arms, on the other hand, are actually pretty great. Once again, that samurai-styled new piece. I think it looks really good, but arms, they move everywhere. You have no restriction at all. Even these wrists, you can tilt them all over. You can go pretty much any pose you feel like. These arms are great. Also, you flip this up, and you have 2 swords underneath. These are the suggested swords, but you could really put anything in there. And then, other side, same deal, just, a more rock-type aesthetic. This is a sticker, but you can flip this up, and again, they have 2 suggested knives. And articulation-wise, same deal. This one, I guess, can be a little bit more because this is a bigger piece, so it can be a little bit harder when you get it all the way up like this. It's going to be harder to tilt it, but you have everything you need here. The arms are really well done, and also, this particular arm does have stud shooters, so just push it down, stud fires off, and then you can lose it forever. And there are some extra ones in the set, so arms are good, legs not so much. This torso section you would think opens up, but it doesn't. This entire part is fixed into place. This is, by the way, a giant, just transparent orange piece, so maybe some people won't like that just because it's the only transparent orange thing on the set, but you can see the detailing around here actually looks pretty good. There's 3 stickers, one down here, one there, and then one also there. This is technically movable, so you can almost suggest you're going to open it, but it doesn't actually open. And then on the other side, you get a tiny bit of stone detailing. It's really just these flaps and these 2 kind of pointed pieces. This is a mainly fire-based torso, though, which, the Firestone mech, you think it'd go right down the middle. Not really, though. It's kind of more like a 70-30% fire split, in my opinion. And then moving up to this head section. The head, I think, looks pretty nice. These eyes are just a little kind of samurai piece. It's what they would typically put on a samurai minifigure helmet. This actual head design very much kind of resembles a samurai. I think it looks good. This is a CCBS armor shell, most commonly seen in Star Wars, printed with the dragon logo, same dragon as the ones on the shield. I think it looks pretty solid, and then you can just flip that up to get actual access into that cockpit. And inside the cockpit itself, it is very spacious. This can actually fit 2 minifigures, and you can see right there are 2 console pieces, same print, same thing you expect, but it's actually very nice, very spacious. Although I do gotta say, it does look a little bit awkward because there's a huge gap between the actual cockpit and the head, but I don't think that's too big of a deal. Cockpit's very well designed. Only issue is that you can't really have any weapons in there, but they do give you those clips underneath these 2 flaps right there, so I don't think it's a big issue. And as far as the backs go, it's really not that detailed. There is one of these really old spinner crown pieces used back here, and then it's really just all studs and a little bit of covering. There isn't really a whole lot to see here. Also included in this set is this very small shrine just to hold the Shadow Sword of Deliverance, one of the collectibles of this wave. This one is of course the shadow version because it's black, and as far as that build goes, nothing too crazy, just a small simple shrine that looks pretty decent. As far as the minifigures go in this set, we got 5. We have Hero Cole, Hero Kai, Hero Nia, Mert, and Mo. Really like the reuse of the Dragon Hunter piece on Mert. They recolored it to be brown and tan. Really glad they brought that back. It looks really nice here. As far as the actual heroes go here, I gotta say my favorite is still Nia. The colors just work really well on her. She looks really good. Kai is okay. The most interesting thing I actually found about on Kai is that they reused the Season 11 leg piece again. This is now the 3rd wave in a row that they're reusing it. And I know the idea is that these are the Season 11 suits basically with armor over them, so it does make sense, but you know, it is kind of starting to feel a little bit lazy that now that it's 3 waves in a row. It's a year and a half of the same print, so can we get an updated Kai print, please? Thank you. And then Cole looks pretty solid. I do like Cole. And also one interesting thing is that the print actually on the gold and silver shields are not the same. Once again, I think the silver one looks better, but that's just me. And then as far as alternate faces go, alternate faces on all of the ninja, nothing for these troll guys. And the troll guys also do have identical prints across both of them, so I only left the armor on for the one. So when it's all said and done, this set is a really tough one to judge. Personally, I think as a mech, it's fine. The legs are really disappointing, but I can't really say it's a lot worse than your typical LEGO mech, especially at this scale. The articulation of the legs are just never that great. I don't think it's anything worse than you typically get, and the arms are really nice. Also, a quick thing to mention is that the swords are easily removable, and also the swords are also themed with the gold and the gray versions. I didn't mention that, I just thought I'd get that out of the way real quick. I think that's fine though. Just, you know, it's weird, it's right in the middle. It's kind of a judgment call. It's just, if you like the look of this set, I think you'll like it if you buy it. If you're kind of on the fence, maybe the asymmetricality you're not a huge fan of, you just wish it was all red or something, then, you know, maybe it's a little bit iffy for you. Maybe you won't like it as much and you just want to wait for a little bit of some sale, maybe 20% off, because I mean, at $50, this would be a great set. But even still, at the $70 price point, I think it's fair, but I really do think it's just a judgment call. But that is it for my review on the Firestone mech. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time, see you guys later.